CTS is a wholly owned subsidiary of Welsh National Opera. We're set up in this building in 1984. We've got a 30,000 square feet premises. We've got a large designated carpentry workshop where we normally have at least 6 carpenters working. We've got a fabricating metal workshop where our engineers are based. We've got a huge scenic art department, and we've got a large assembly area where we can actually fit up and pre-build all of our work before it goes out.
What's great about CTS is you have a great confidence in every department here. So there's really good carpenters, really good metal workers, and you can see the paint finishes are just fantastic.
I've always seen CTS as a community of artists and craftsmen and skilled people who are really committed to the idea of theatre and making sets happen.
A lot of the guys that have worked here for so long that they really are like the blood that runs CTS.
We've got a hugely experienced senior management team of the company. We've got scenic artists that have been working here for, in one case, 40 years. One who came in as a 15-year-old on work experience. He's about to be 60, and that's the level of knowledge and experience that we have.
I think the thing that sets CTS apart is really the attention to detail at every stage of the process. It is the finish, it's what the set looks like at the end. And I think the level of attention to detail and attentiveness to the design and to getting that fully realised.
What's great about CTS is we've got one designated fitter area, which has got about 7.5 metres height, which means 80% of the things we actually construct here we can set up, and the designer can come here, the director can come here, they can see their set built before it goes into the theatre.
Tom Pye, the designer for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and he's come down a couple of times through the process where Paint Shop can show them samples and we can talk about finishes and material choices and things like that. And this is really the first time that he's seen the set fully assembled at CTS, which is something that we like to offer all of our clients, really, to build a set for them. And we can really test out things, and he can try things and look at textures and see how the floor relates to the walls and sort of try all of these things. And that's when we can get into fine details and get it in the best place for him when he sees it on stage next.
Agnatum was a show that we built here for English National Opera. So I wanted it to look very fragile, yet had to house an entire opera chorus, so it had to be incredibly strong. It also had to break apart and move. And I also wanted the painting to be really quite brave, and that was something great about working with the painting department here, is they're not afraid to be bold, which always I find really exciting.
He pushed us to do things but probably out of our comfort zone. In some areas of the set there was actually no model to copy, we had to make it up ourselves. But he just talked about the kind of feel that he wanted for it, and we had to work it out from there and sort of try and make something based on a number of different ideas that he had about translucency and opacity and veils of texture running behind it.
As a company, we really tune into that underlying kind of design aesthetic, and we work closely with them to realise every single detail, so that in the end it's that relationship with the designer giving them what they want in terms of the scenic finish in particular that brings them back time and time again. Last summer we were really lucky to win the contract for building Magic Flute for the Lyric Opera of Chicago. A huge three-dimensional house, rotated 360 degrees on a revolving stage, and you got a visual shot into the interior of the house as the thing revolved around on stage. The challenge with something like Magic Flute, where the designer's requirements are so realistic, it's how do you really make that, still using theatrical materials, and make it demountable, something that's got to be shipped across the world. Hugely challenging, but if you look at the final result on stage, it's remarkably like the model box. And we're desperately proud of the quality of the work that we produce here. The future might be about crossing over into other markets, so we'd love to do more film and TV work. We want to be thinking about themed installations. We want to be thinking about a whole range of other opportunities that are out there, because our skills and our workforce are incredibly flexible and talented people who could turn their hands to pretty much anything.